Hello everybody, my name is Arashi, and there's a bit of a commotion right now in the Pokemon Draft League community. And since I'm part of the Pokemon Draft League community, I make Draft League videos, I'm a coach myself. I thought about making this video earlier, but at the time it didn't feel right to do it, but I've been thinking about it, and because I am an active member of the Pokemon Draft League community, and I may not be that big, and I may not be that active in a lot of Discord servers or any other social media platform, I am always considering myself as a positive influence in the Draft League community. So, thinking about all about that, I thought it would be the best thing to actually make a video about this subject. And I hope I'm not going to ramble about this. I just hope that I can keep this video within the 10 to 15 minutes, because it's a subject that can be talked very quickly, but it's still a bit of an iffy subject because, it revolves around the community, whether the community is toxic or not toxic. And you may have already noticed that from the title of this video. But a man decided to speak up about his opinion about the community after I'm assuming he had some, I'm assuming he had some negative interaction with the Draft League community as a whole. And that man is Duncan Can't Die, formerly known as Duncan Knee Deep. A lot of people will probably know him from that name, but he changed his name, so we're speaking of the same Duncan. And he addressed his opinion about the Pokemon Draft League community on Twitter, and I will make sure I will give you guys the tweets that he sent out on the screen so you can read along. But yeah, he basically came out with some tweets a couple of days ago, like if the last 2 days are any indication, the Showdown Draft League community has to be the most delusional, jumped-up, self-important community in Mons. I say this knowing full well the Poketuber community exists. I hope it's just a small bad sample. Can someone prove me wrong, please? So he firstly talked about the Showdown Draft League community, but later on he tended to leave out the Showdown name and just spoke about draft leagues in general. And it could be that he still is talking about the Showdown Draft Leagues, but later on some of his tweets he is talking about Pokemon Draft League community as a whole. He also said later, if you say my community isn't toxic while ignoring or even condoning racism, sexism, use of disabilities as insults, transphobia, homophobia, and the like, then you are part of the problem. That is not banter, and anyone would think it needs to take a long look at themselves. Now, I can totally agree with that. I think that is something that should not be in any community at all, like homophobia, transphobia, sexism, disabilities. I have a handicap myself. I have ADD, PDD-NOS. I get less than the minimum wage because I fall under that category. So I can totally understand him coming from that, and that should be in any community. Should that not be accepted? So that is something I can certainly agree on, 100%. So I understand his reasoning. I understand his opinion. And first of all, we should totally respect his opinion. This was his opinion. And we all know Duncan. If you follow Duncan on Twitter, Duncan is a spoken man. He doesn't, isn't afraid to speak out about his opinion. And I can totally accept that. I like when people are open like that and don't give a shit about keeping their opinions for themselves. I have totally respect for Duncan in that way. But later on, he began to take it, a step further. And this is where I say about that he is, leaving out the Showdown name. And he's speaking more about, the Pokemon Draft League community in general. Now, I'm not going to go all of the tweets, but he did have some interaction with some people in the Pokemon Draft League community. Most of them were negative, and that saddens me because there were also a lot of positive people who spoke up about the Pokemon community. I made some tweets myself, and I tagged Duncan in there as well, and maybe he read them, maybe he didn't, maybe he ignored it, I don't know. But there are also a lot of other people in the community that, spoke up about this and, understanding his opinion, but also saying like, yo, the community is also full of good people. And he made some more tweets about it. I will not show them. There are a lot of tweets. And like, first off, I do want to say, is the Pokemon Draft League community toxic? Now, I think we can all say that every community has a toxic side. So the Pokemon Draft League community is no exception. And I myself am doing draft leagues for about 3 years now. I think I started in 2016, and I started with Showdown Draft Leagues, and then did that for 2 years, I believe, and now I'm more delving into the Wi-Fi Draft League community. And, in general, I've been part of the Pokemon Draft League community for more than 3 years now, since 2016. And luckily, I haven't encountered any toxic behavior at all. And at least surrounding me, because as I said before, I'm trying to be as positive I am. I'm trying to be positive towards my fellow coaches and towards the leagues that I'm in, and just have a positive influence in a general. And I won't deny that there are some bad seeds in the Pokemon Draft League community, like any other community. And what Duncan is saying about racism, transphobia, homophobia, sexism, making fun of disabilities, like, that is just not done. And I can totally understand about that. Like, it's not, it's not even funny, like, if you actually do that in a community where there's also a lot of 12-year-olds or younger. So I can totally understand Duncan in that way. However, I do feel that he is crossing the line a bit, and a lot of people in this community, and I think the majority of the Pokemon Draft League community, are positive, amazing people. I've met so many, positive and great people in the Pokemon Draft League community. And of course we have banter now sometimes, every now and then, but that's totally fine. But I think the majority of the Pokemon Draft League community is not toxic, and I think a small part of the community is ruining it for others. And that's sad. And absolutely what Duncan said is we should not accept that. And in my honest opinion, if there are bad seeds out there who is ruining it for others, they should be banned from other leagues. They should be, being acknowledged in the sense of, oh, you're that guy that did that bad things. Yeah, you're not going to be part of this league. And I can totally understand about that. But I have a feeling that the community is being set in a negative light at the moment. And I'm just, disappointed that we're not looking at the positive side of the community. And there's a lot of positive members in the community. And I wish that, Duncan would also highlight some of the positive stuff of the community instead of just focusing on the negative stuff. Now, this isn't me hating on Duncan, because as I said before, I appreciate that he is an outspoken person, that he's not afraid to not speak up, that he's not afraid to show his opinions. And we all know that Duncan is a man who does that, especially on social media. So, we should not be attacking Duncan just for him having a different opinion, but I am kind of disappointed that we're only focusing on the negative sides of the community and not focusing on the positive sides of the community. Should that mean that we should ignore the negative side of the community? Absolutely not. As I said before, we should totally be, looking in it and be like, we need to do something about this to make the community more positive. But that doesn't also mean that we should ignore the positivity so that we can actually flourish this community and build it even better. I do want to make a shout out to Matt O'Shea. He put out a Twitter thread which totally fits in the line what I'm saying right now. So I will be trying to put that on the screen as well, and I will put a link in the description below to that thread so you can also read up about that. But I should actually finish this discussion video right now. So, is the Pokemon Draft League community toxic? Yes, there is a part of the community that is toxic. Is there a lot of positive things still left in the Pokemon Draft League community? Absolutely. The majority of the Pokemon Draft League community, in my honest opinion, is positive. There are a lot of good people out there. and we should also focus mostly on that to keep the draft league community steady. We need to make it better, and we need to spread the positivity. Do we need to ignore the negative influences of the bad seeds that are in this community? Absolutely not. We should totally look into this, and we should totally make sure that any bad seeds should be weeded out of the community, and not let them in any other drafts, not let them in any other way. We should just make sure that these bad seeds in the community, and there is a bunch, but it's a minority when you compare it to the positive side of the community, they should be weeded out. And I just wish that that the main focus is not the negative side of the community. The main focus should be the ones who are actually helping out this community, and that is the positive side of this community. Again, I've been in this community for 3 years. I've been luckily enough not been in any toxic environment in the community itself. I've met so many great people, so many great friends. The Pokemon Draft League community made me appreciate Pokemon on another level, and I'm just disappointed that through all of this, there's a bit of a negative light now in the Draft League community, which is not something that is necessary. And of course, that doesn't mean that we should ignore the negative stuff in the community, but it surely doesn't mean that we should ignore the positive side of the community, because the positive side of this community is the one that makes this community so great, and we should not let the negative side of that ruin it for the pleasure and the excitement for others, if that makes any sense. So again, this is not an hate towards Duncan. I can totally understand his side, but I can also totally understand the people who are quite a bit annoyed that the Draft League community is being set in a negative light. And the people who are absolutely attacking Duncan and are trolling him and are actually proving his side of the community being toxic, I hope those people will get weeded out, will get banned, not actually banned, but banned from certain leagues in the future, so that we can actually push the negative out, keep the positive in, and try to keep that up in the upcoming months and years of this community. Because I think this community is an amazing community with amazing people, and we should just keep it positive. We should just keep it going. We should just have fun. It's just Pokemon. We're doing battles on a game, and there's not any prize. Of course, some leagues have prizes, but we're just doing this for the fun and honor. We're just doing this for shits and giggles. Why do we need to make this all serious? Just have fun. Just keep the positive going. Don't let this community get to waste. Don't let this community, don't let the negativity grab this community and choke it out, because that is so unnecessary. And that is just, my 2 cents of this whole situation. I'm up for talks. I'm up for discussion. You can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on YouTube. You can put it in the comment section below. I'm all up for the discussion. If Duncan wants to talk with me about this subject, I'm all up. I said before, I did make a Twitter thread, and I did tag Duncan in it because I wanted to get my 2 cents out. And I'm always up for discussion, and I just want this community to keep, the positive going. And yeah, because I'm involved in this community, and I'm having a lot of fun, and I'm having a lot of positive vibes, and I'm having a lot of, every Draft League match that I'm having right now is just pure joy. And I don't want that to be ruined by a bunch of bad people. So if that makes any sense, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will just end it off here. No other outro or something like that. Yeah, let's just all have fun, and let's just all, keep a positive mindset, and just respect each other's opinions, respect each other's whatever, and just have fun, and just don't do bad shit. Okay? Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.